Every day when I wake up in the morning, I see the sky and I think about the things that you've made, all the beauty and your glory is showing, yeah. It never bores me to look at the ocean. The waves are crashing and the water spraying up in my face. To look above and all the seagulls are soaring, yeah. We've got to overcome the darkness so we don't get caught in the middle, between the hopeful and the heartless. So, hello, good day, good morning, I just can't stop smiling, because today is a brand new day, and all the darkness and the pain is just fading behind me. Oh Lord, what a beautiful day. All the planets surround me, the way they orbit just boggles my mind, the way the sun keeps on shining, yeah. We got to overcome the darkness so we don't get caught in the middle, between the hopeful and the heartless. So, hello, good day, good morning, I just can't stop smiling, because today is a brand new day, and all the darkness and the pain is just fading behind me. Oh Lord, what a beautiful day. There's nothing to fear, it'll be okay. It's the day that the Lord has made. It's the day that the Lord has made. There's nothing to fear, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. It's the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. So, hello, good day, good morning, I just can't stop smiling, because today is a brand new day, and all the darkness and the pain is just fading behind me. Oh Lord, what a beautiful day.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Live with Doug. It is a beautiful day, isn't it? I'm not talking about the weather, although the weather where you are may be wonderful. Today, the weather here is fantastic. I'm talking about how great it is that we have a king and a savior who is ruling and reigning, who has all power, all wisdom. He's good. He is judging his enemies, so don't think that anybody's getting away with it. He is blessing his people. If you are one of his, if you are a Christian, he is blessing you. Open your eyes and see the blessings. Taste and see. Forget none of his benefits. He is a good king. So rejoice. Be glad. It is a good day. And don't let the enemy or anyone else convince you otherwise. Amen? All right. I'm going to taste and see right now how good the Lord is. So good. Well, so today's a little out of the ordinary. We're not going to study the scripture, and we're done with the Q&A, and we're not starting a new series. And it's not manhood. It's not Fridays with the fellas. Today I want to give an update on our ministry, Cross to Crown Ministries, and a specific ministry, New Covenant School of Theology. I'm glad Ken is excited to hear these. No, I'm not writing another book. I don't know if I'm going to write any more books. I've got about 30 of them started. We'll see. That actually kind of plays into a little bit of what I want to share with you this morning. Did I see all that? Okay. Hey, Dale, Keith, Lewis, Nathan. Did I catch everybody that I see popping on here so far? Glad you're all here. So first thing I want to do is very practically just show you a little bit about our website and a new feature that I hope will be a benefit. I've been asked a specific question almost monthly for several years, and we finally finally acted on these questions I get all the time. So I'll show you what that is in just a moment. Hey, Mike, glad to see you again from Norway. It seems like it's been a while. All right, so if you haven't been to our website recently, here's what it looks like. And you'll see here you've got the live stream. The last 3 of the live streams that we do is right here, and you can quickly get to YouTube. You can go to the podcast. If you want to listen to podcasts, you can subscribe to any of those and so on. And then here, the next section, at least currently, is books and books that are on sale. And as you can see, for $5 starting today, we have my book Exalted and my 2 marriage books. The red one is for married folks. The blue one is for pre-married folks. A lot of people get engaged in the summertime, so if you want to give them a gift, buy this for those. We've only got a couple of the red ones in stock, so if you're interested, you better hurry and grab those. So when we put new books on sale, we'll post them right here. And then, do y'all know about this? The John Riesinger online library? I won't click on it now and take you there, but we are continuing to put Riesinger's books on this web page where you can read them for free. So check it out if you'd like to. Then we've got some other series here and the Bunyan conferences and so on. So that's kind of our standard website here. But if you read across the menu, you may see a new tab here called Churches. So I get asked all the time questions like, hey, I'm moving to Texas. Do you know of any churches that are New Covenant theology oriented in San Antonio? Or I'm moving here, I'm moving there. And I've been saying for a while, too long, that we were going to try to figure out a way to help people connect. So here's what we're doing. We've created this map. So if you go to, we'll just pick on USA here first. If you go to USA, you see New Covenant Friendly Congregations USA. And if there are any churches in that state, it'll be green like this. And you can just click on it and it'll take you to that state. And then you can see what part of the state it's in. And if there is one, like New Covenant Bible Fellowship, this is Jeff Volker's fellowship. If you click on that, it'll take you to the website for their gathering. And as we get more on here, then this will continue to grow. You can go back to the USA and pick another state if you want to. If you are interested in nations beyond the US, you can click on Worldwide, and we will start filling this out. For instance, here, Canada. I know some of you, Mike, Keith, I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think your church is NCT friendly, so to speak, but if it is, let me know. And there's Sovereign Grace Family Church in Canada that you can check out here. Ontario, it looks like. All right, so a couple things I want to point out here. It's important, these 4 things. Being on the list here does not constitute an endorsement of Cross to Crown, nor does it mean the church endorses Cross to Crown. You see what I'm saying? So just because a church is on here does not mean we're vouching for them, and it doesn't mean they support Cross to Crown. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. We believe these churches are in general agreement with our statement of faith, but we could be wrong. We're going to check, but we're not going to police this too carefully. If you want to add a church, like your church, to this, click on this brief form, or in the menu, you can click on Put Your Church on the Map. And it's a very simple form. Church name, church website, your email, and if you have any other info you want to give us, and then send it, and we will take a look, and if it seems to generally meet the criteria, we will stick them on that map. So I'm excited about that because, again, I've been asked a lot over the years for a listing of New Covenant theology-oriented churches. So we're going to try to provide that as we go. All right, so that's one thing. I told you about the sales, told you about the map. And feel free, if you have questions, feel free to pop those on and I'll take a look. All right, so let's talk about some other things. So New Covenant School of Theology, NCST. Some of you have taken courses. A lot of our followers and listeners have taken courses. It started in 2010, and I actually wanted the seminary to to be part of the church that I was pastoring at the time. And we were in the middle of a huge building project, and the elders said, we're for it. We love the idea. We're all in, but we just don't want to take on any more responsibility while we're in the middle of this building project. If you've ever been a part of one of those, where you're building a brand new building, there's a lot of work, and it just kind of taxes everyone. So they gave me the go ahead to run with it, but they didn't want it officially part of our church, which I was a little bit disappointed in at the time, but in hindsight, I see the Lord's kindness in that. So we started it, and we had 4 board members of Cross the Crown Ministries, which is the parent organization, and NCST is a subsidiary. Our 4 board members were elders of the church that I was at, and there was great partnership. And the idea was to train pastors and elders and other church leaders as well, and really anybody who wanted to, but especially our goal was church leaders in train them in New Covenant theology and practical pastoral ministry. And our teachers were all pastors. I think all of them who ever taught for us had been a pastor. And so we started heading down that path. And then as our local church, our vision grew into this idea that we wanted to fill Colorado Springs. We wanted to plant churches all over the Springs area here. We thought, well, this is great. We will train up church leaders to take those leadership in those church plants. So that's where we're heading. And from 2010 onward, we have been doing that. And we've had pastors and elders come through, and many of them graduated and went off to other parts of the country, which is kind of fun to see. And several of them are still pastoring today. And I hear from them regularly and appreciate what we've done. And it was kind of unique. We had block courses. So you took one course at a time, and they were Monday and Tuesday nights, 3 hours Monday night, 3 hours Tuesday night. And then you got your work over the next 5 days, and then you had another course of 4 weeks, and then break a week off, and then 4 weeks, and then we took off for the summer typically, unless for the MDiv students, they were taking Greek, and that was year-round kind of thing. So it was a lot. It was a heavy burden. We had people moving. We had people, guys move from different states just to come be part of this, because the other advantage to the education was, because of our vision at the church, they were immersed in church ministry and got firsthand experience. We gave them plenty of opportunities to preach and teach and start ministries, lead ministries, be part of elders meetings, all of that. That was the vision, was to really immerse them in real life church ministry. Because like my experience, and what is so often the case, I should say my experience was not like this. The typical pastor goes to a seminary for like 3 years, mostly removed from church life, and usually they're young, in their 20s or so, and then they go take a job as a pastor, and they haven't had real experience in leadership. So they're on the job, and it's become this hierarchy. You sort of start as this youth pastor, then maybe move to an associate pastor, and then finally become a senior pastor. Of course, none of those divisions are biblical, but we treat it like a corporate ladder, don't we? Well, my experience was I was called to ministry and then entered seminary, so I was serving in the local church while I was studying, and I always noticed that my questions to the professors were different from the other students, because this was real life. This was today. I need to know this today because I got to deal with this today, where the other students tend to ask more theoretical questions. Anyway, so that was the experience that we gave, the theology and the immersion in church ministry experience. So we moved along. Well, two things have converged to bring about a pretty significant change here. One is, it was one thing when families came to our church, and we were able to support them and help them. But when we moved online exclusively, when I left the church I was serving, now what we've realized is the time commitment is just a lot. I've had, I don't know how many students in the last year and a half apply and be accepted and enroll in one of the programs, and they'll take a course or two and then say to me, that was great. We love it. I loved it. I can't do this. It's too much time commitment. Monday and Tuesday nights for 3 hours each. That's a lot. And then several hours of homework, paper writing, that kind of thing. And then you add Greek. That's another 4 to 6 hours a week. And so we just had all these students sign up, start, and then have to bail after a course or two. And then we had some of our current students who are, halfway through the curriculum, and they're asking me, is there a way I could watch the videos and not have to be in class every night? I've got families, I've got other commitments, and it's just really difficult. So on the one hand, I've got just the reality that the online program and the way things are is just difficult for people. The other thing that came along about the same time is, as you know, my philosophy of church ministry has changed quite a bit in the last year and a half or 2 years or so. I did a whole series on this. I'm more convinced than ever that the home fellowship model, the benefits of that model, which we see in the New Testament, the early church, far outweigh the traditional model. I am seeing more and more the dangers inherent in the traditional model. The institutional church brings with it a lot of problems that are not easily overcome. And I want to say again, as I said through that series, my goal here is not to throw stones at the traditional model. Probably almost all of those who are listening to me and following me are in a traditional model church. And many of my good friends are pastors in the traditional model church. So I get it. I'm swimming upstream here. And my goal is not to, again, throw stones. But I also know I hear from people all the time who either have started or want to start a home fellowship, but they don't know really what to do. It's so foreign to our mindset. Isn't that interesting? This, which was the only kind of church in the first century, has now become the anomaly, the strange and unknown idea in our churches today, in the West at least, and so on. So those two things converge. The sense that this is just a lot of work for NCST students online, in that now that the model has kind of shifted, and my philosophy of ministry with respect to churches and church leadership. So another sip of God's goodness here. Ken says, I took a course on Ephesians and Colossians, etc. It was awesome. Oh, thanks, Ken. Yeah, I remember you being in that, and it was great. So I began to ask the question months and months ago, why am I teaching NCST? We only had one student who was pursuing church leadership in the last year or so. And even he was not so sure that that's where he's heading. So I'll just kind of cut to the chase. So we are going to shut down NCST, and the teaching that I was doing and that I was planning to do, I'm going to continue via the live stream. It won't be exactly the same. Well, obviously the format will be different, 23 to 25 minutes as opposed to 3 hours. But for those students who were engaged, by the way, they all know this, so I'm not dropping the bomb on them here. For those who were in the middle of a program, as I continue, I'm going to basically continue where I left off and teach through the rest of the curriculum on the live stream, so everybody can participate. And then those who were taking it for any kind of credit. They can still do assignments if they want to, and we'll work through that with them. So that means the August course coming up this August was supposed to be Romans. So that means here pretty soon I'm going to get into Romans here during live stream. But here's the thing. I began to ask the question, who am I teaching? Why am I teaching them? This is a lot of time commitment for me. Monday, Tuesday nights, 3 hours. And I, tried to recruit some other teachers along the way, but online teaching is hard. Not everyone is cut out for it. Not everybody is interested, and teaching for 3 hours, 2 nights a week online, that's a lot. Especially if this is, it's not full time for anybody. So I had a hard time finding guys who are qualified and really interested in doing this. So for the last year and a half, I've been really the only teacher. I think actually Bob Bryant taught a class or two during that time, but it became clear that I was going to be really the only teacher, which that made me think, why would we offer an MDiv, Master of Divinity, just from one man? That doesn't seem right. Plus, even the idea of offering a Master of Divinity, that's traditional model mindset. There's no degrees. There's no credentials like that in the church as Jesus established it. Those are all man-made. That's an institutional thing we've done, and it has its downsides. So if I'm not trying to build traditional model churches anymore, I'm not trying to raise up leaders to lead those kind of churches, why would our school provide that kind of credential? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So NCST is shutting down. I'm going to continue to teach in live stream and go through again the rest of the curriculum. Our Cross to Crown partners all have access to the videos of past courses. Take you back to the website again. If you go up here to donate and click on Cross to Crown Partners, then you see here you can sign up to donate $25, $50, or $100 a month. And when you do that, you get access to our NCST course videos from past courses. Here are all the courses we have: Ephesians, Colossians, Study and Teaching, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Church History 1 and 2, Intro to Biblical Theology, Counseling, John's Gospel and Epistles, Old Testament Prophets, Acts, Worldview, and so on. Several other courses here that might be interesting to you. So if you're not a partner, we'd love for you to join us with that financial contribution, and you get access to all those past courses. For the future ones, I'm going to teach them on live stream, and you'll have access as we go. And so I'm going to spend more time, and our organization is going to spend more time trying to help home fellowships get started and help prepare the leaders to do so. In a home fellowship, you almost have to have other income apart from the church. So the guys who are leading these, they're not quote unquote full time. So they don't have the time to lead the church, lead their families, work a part-time job at least, usually it's a full-time job, and spend 10, 12, 15 hours a week on courses. But they can watch the live stream, and then I can work with them and others from our organization. I say that. I'm really the main guy in the organization, but we have others in our home fellowship that are interested and willing to help talk to some of these guys. And the idea is the network kind of grows, and we're able to help each other, the folks who are leading home fellowships. I want to build that network. And one of the things I'm going to do for our partners, is make myself more available to interact, especially those who are leading these home fellowships. So I'm going to give more time to helping them talk through the practical issues and how do you do this, and encourage one another and bring them together on Zoom and mutual edification, not just hearing from me. So to create just this network of guys who are leading these and supporting one another and that kind of thing. And we'll see where it goes. There's a lot of this is still being formulated and it's on the front end of this change. But I just want to let everybody know where we're at and ask you to pray for us. And if you know churches that are NCT oriented, send them here to get them on the map on the website. If you know folks who are interested in starting a home fellowship or who have started a home fellowship, please ask them to reach out to me. And I'd love to encourage them and get to know them and see how we can go together. And again, I would just ask if you're willing to at least pray about, consider partnering with us, get access to all the NCST videos of the archives of the past, and it will help us help build more of these home churches really around the world, because we have some that have started all over the place. So that's kind of it. I see a couple. Let me see what Lon says here. He says, "It all sounds spirit-led to me. Keep on keeping on. God will use you to the best of your gifting." Yeah, thanks, brother. That's kind of how I see it as well. I think the future of the church is going to be made up significantly, I think, of this model as opposed to the traditional model. I think the institutional church is in trouble. And anyway, I won't go down that path. I taught a whole series on this. Seems like there's one. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I know a lot of you probably aren't on Twitter, but if you are, follow me at Doug Gooden. If you're not on Twitter, maybe consider signing up. I know if you're not on it, you know, last thing you want is another social media platform. I really think Elon Musk is serious about free speech. The others are not. And I think Twitter is going to be the place where you're going to want to be down the road. And I would love to build more of an online social media community around these ideas on Twitter. So anyway, consider it. And if you do, then please follow me. Ken says, definitely we'll be praying for all y'all. My brother Dave and I have been watching biblical theology. It really opens the scriptures, seeing Christ in the Old Testament. Yeah, that's one of our most popular courses. I think of all the courses I've taught, that one probably is the one that people have said, this transformed my understanding of the scriptures more than anything else I've ever studied. So for partners, you get access to the Intro to Biblical Theology course. All right. Ken says, so I highly recommend the partnership at CTC. Thanks, Ken. I didn't pay him to say that. All right. If you have questions, put them in the video, in the comments after this, and I will get through as many as I can along the way. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your encouragement along the way. And if you know people that would benefit, tell them to jump on our live stream. Tomorrow's Friday. Fridays with the fellas. Come back and let's talk manhood. And Monday, I'm still kicking around the idea of a short series on hell before we jump into Romans or something else. So pray for the Lord's leading there. We'll see what happens between now and Monday. Thanks for your time. God bless you all. Take care.